This conference will now be recorded.
They will be asking you, like, you'll be having your savings account, checkings account, these all things, right? So they wanted to check how much total amount they have in their account. So what you will do, you will go ahead and check, you will go ahead and add both checkings account and savings account. Am I right?
Yes.
Like that, you have to check. I just
Oh,
gave for like $20, $30, like that, like something like that. Okay, but when it goes to the real time, if they want to check what is the how many total number of employees are there, okay, or like to check what is the total amount that each and every account has, okay, and what is the if you take a healthcare domain, then you'll be able to check like what is the total amount that you got from the patients at the end of the day. Remember? Did you understand?
yeah, I
Like,
get it. Yeah,
yeah.
it make
And
more
let's say
sense
if you
now.
take,
Thank you.
yeah, if you take like the example like Domino's or anything, like at the end of the day, what they will do, they will check the collection, how much they received at the end of the day, right? So to
Yeah.
check, to calculate, they use that like that. Okay?
Oh, okay, I get it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It helped.
In that cases, you will use those also. Any other questions?
No,
I
thank
have
you.
given real-time examples, guys. Okay, you can use these examples when you are in the interviews also. Like if they're asking you some questions in the interviews also, you can use. Okay.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now let's start. So in the previous session we have completed with the QA. Now we will go ahead and start with Selenium. So what do you understand by Selenium? It's an automation tool. Like QTP, Selenium is also an automation tool. So what is automation testing? Performing testing on the software application with the help of an automation tool is called automation testing. Performing testing on the software application with the help of an automation tool is called automation testing. So to work on this Selenium, first you should have Eclipse installed on your system. So you should have this URL. So first you should have this Eclipse installed on your system. Okay, you should have the Eclipse. So to what is the URL that you need to use to work on this Eclipse? http://www.eclipse.org/downloads. eclipse.org/downloads. So based on your system type, like whether it is like 32-bit or 64-bit, based on your system type, you need to download your Eclipse. Okay, and then we go for Selenium server standalone, which is a jar file. So what does it contain? It contains all the classes, objects, and methods. It contains all the classes, objects, and methods. So what is the URL that you should have here? http://docs.seleniumhq.org/downloads. So this is the URL that you need to use to download your Selenium server standalone jar file. So no need for you to use this URLs to download. I will send you a zip file where you'll have these all things. Okay. And what is the version, standalone jar file version that you will be having? 2.45.0. This is a jar file version. Selenium server standalone, which is a jar file version that you'll be having. So to work on this Eclipse, first you should have Java installed on your system. If you don't have this Java installed on your system, then your Eclipse will not open. Okay, so now see here on your desktop in the C drive. Okay, in the C drive you have program files. So in the program file you have Java. So where you'll be able to see JDK and JRE, where you'll be able to see JDK and JRE. Okay, so JDK means what? Java Development Kit. Okay, JDK means Java Development Kit. JRE means Java Runtime Environment. So you'll have Java. So here you'll be able to see JDK and JRE. So JDK means Java Development Kit. JRE means Java Runtime Environment. You'll be able to see JDK or JRE. If they are not available, then you will not be able to download your Eclipse. Okay. So why automation? In the interview, they'll ask you why automation. In order to overcome the drawbacks of manual testing and to provide speed and accuracy to the existing testing process, we choose automation. Okay, in order to overcome the drawbacks of manual testing and to provide speed and accuracy to the existing testing process, we choose automation. So when to start automation? After your application is stable, then only we can go ahead and start the automation. We are going to start automation only when your application is stable. So what are the advantages? What are the advantages of this automation? We can save the time. So by executing the same test cases without any manual efforts, we can save the time by executing the same test cases without any manual efforts, and we can reduce the cost of the company. We can reduce the cost of the company, and we can go ahead and maintain the accuracy. Accuracy can be maintained by the same task in the same manner for multiple times. Okay, so we can go ahead and maintain the accuracy, and also we can identify the bugs and report the bugs. We can identify the bugs and report the bugs, and we can ensure for quality. We can ensure for quality. So these are all the advantages. Now we go for types of automated tools. Types of automated tools. So here what all you'll have basically, you'll have manual testing, automation testing, and then performance testing. So manual testing means human will perform testing on the application. So human will perform testing on the application. That is manual testing. Automation means what? Tool will perform testing on the application like QTP, Selenium. So this all comes under the automation testing. And the next one is what? Performance testing. Performance means like load runner, JMeter, SIP performer. So this all comes under the performance testing. So if they ask you what is the difference between a QTP and a Selenium, if they ask you what is the difference between Selenium and a QTP, then what do you write? Selenium. What is Selenium? It's an open source tool. It's an open source tool. But whereas QTP, it's a commercial tool. It's a commercial tool. And Selenium, it supports Java, C#, Perl, Python, Ruby, and HTML. But whereas QTP, it supports only VB scripting language. It supports only VB scripting language. And Selenium, it works on Internet Explorer, Firefox, Opera, Chrome, and Safari browser. But whereas QTP, it supports only Internet Explorer and Firefox. It works only on Internet Explorer and Firefox. Okay, and what are all the operating systems that Selenium supports? It supports Windows, Mac, and Linux. But whereas QTP, it supports only Windows operating system. It supports only Windows operating system. Okay, and Selenium, it works only on web applications, but whereas QTP, it works on both Windows and web-based applications. It works on both Windows as well as the web-based applications. Okay, now we go for Selenium components. See, first two classes we feel like it is difficult only, but once we start writing the program, it will be very, very simple. Okay, so now we'll go with Selenium components. So all together we have like different Selenium components available. What are they? Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, then Selenium WebDriver, then Selenium Grid, Salendroid, and then APM. So these are all the different Selenium components that we have. These are all the different Selenium components that we have. So first one is Selenium IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. That means it is for recording and running the scripts. IDE means it stands for Integrated Development Environment, and it is for recording and running the scripts, and it is an add-on to Firefox. That means we can go and download and install this Selenium IDE only in Firefox. Earlier we used to do only it in Firefox, but now we can go and do it in Chrome browser also. So now I'll show you how our Selenium IDE looks like. Okay, Selenium IDE. Just click on this open source record and playback. So once you click on it, it will open. In my system, it's not opening. Just on the top, once you download, you'll be able to see the Selenium IDE. See? This is how our Selenium IDE looks like. So whenever you open your Selenium IDE for the first time, this is how it looks like. So just click on record a new test in a new project. So just click on this. And the project name is here banking, and then click on OK. Okay, and what is the URL? http://www.google.com, and then click on start recording. So automatically your Google will open, and then it will enter your Selenium, and then click on enter. See, this is how it has got recorded. Now you can stop this recording. So just click on the stop recording. So now what is the name of the test here? Test 1. And then click on OK. See, test 1 has been created, right? So this is how it got recorded. Now you have to run the script. So you have two options here, run all tests and then run current test. So just click on run current test. Whatever you have recorded, just click on this. So automatically your Google will open, it will enter Selenium, and then it stops your recording. Did you see that? Is there any failure? No. So this is how you have to go and do the recording. Now to record another test, what you'll do, again click on this new record. So what is the name of the test here? Test 2, and then click on this add. Okay, click on this add, and then just click on this record. Just click on start recording, and then enter here testing, and then click on enter. See? Okay, now you stop your recording. Just click on the stop. Now it has recorded. Now click on run current test. run current test. See, did you see that? Automatically it has got recorded. Okay, now run all the tests. So run both the tests. So to run both the tests, what you'll do here? Click on run all tests. Automatically your Google open, it will enter Selenium, and then again it opens your Google, and then it opens, and then it stops. Did you see that? Okay, so this is how it has got recorded and run the script. So this is how we are going to do it in the real time. But in the real time, you should not do this recording. What you have to do, you have to write the script manually. So how you need to write the script manually, I'll show you those all things. Okay, how to write the script manually, I'll show you those all things.
The recording you just saw, Archana, the recording that you just saw us, we don't have to do that. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, recording, no need for you to go ahead and do the recording. We have to write the script. So how you will
No.
write this manually, that all I will explain. Okay? Yeah. So if they ask you what is Selenium IDE, then what do you say? If they ask you what is Selenium IDE, then what do you say? It stands for Integrated Development Environment. It stands for Integrated Development Environment, and it is for recording and running the script. And it is an add-on to Firefox. That means we can go and download and install this in Firefox. Okay, so this recorded scripts can run against other browsers also. So it is a set of programs and a user interface from where user can interact with that set of programs, where user can interact with that set of programs. So what are the drawbacks of the Selenium IDE? It works only in Firefox. Earlier it used to work only in Firefox. Now it is working in Chrome browser also. Okay, so this Selenium IDE, you can go and download it directly from your internet on your laptop. Okay, yeah, and then we go for RC. RC means what? The remote control. RC is nothing but the remote control. So it is also known as the Selenium one. It is also known as Selenium one, and it is a server, and it launches browsers, one browser at a time. It launches browsers, one browser at a time, and it acts as an API. It acts as an API. API means what? Application, program, interface, and library, and it is responsible for entire automation. It is responsible for entire automation. So it is a set of programs to perform automation testing. So to use or to interact with these programs, we need to configure them in any user interface. So generally, people use Eclipse as it is a powerful editor for writing the Java program. As it is a powerful editor for writing the Java program. So after Selenium RC, they have made Selenium WebDriver. So as Selenium WebDriver is providing more facilities for automation testing when compared to RC, people started using WebDriver and slowly RC was getting duplicated. Earlier they used to use RC, but right now they are using only WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver. So extended version of Selenium RC is nothing but WebDriver. Okay, and this is also known as Selenium 2. Okay, so Selenium WebDriver is nothing but it is a set of powerful programs to perform automation testing. So to interact with these programs, we need to configure them in any user interface. So generally, people use Eclipse for configuring the WebDriver programs, as it is a powerful editor for writing the Java program. Okay, so earlier they used to use RC, but now right now they are using only Selenium WebDriver. Okay, now we go for Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid means what? Selenium Grid. It is to run the test scripts similarly in all the browsers. So by using Grid, we can perform compatibility testing, and it saves time also. So RC and WebDriver is sequentially executed, whereas Grid is parallel execution. So if they ask you what is Selenium Grid, then you have to say it is a special set of programs used for executing the test parallelly on multiple machines. So in order to increase the performance of the execution, we use the Selenium Grid. In order to increase the performance of the execution, we use this Selenium Grid. Okay, and then we go for Salendroid. Salendroid means what? It is suitable only for Android platforms. It is suitable only for Android platforms. APM means it is suitable for both iOS and Android platforms. It is suitable for both iOS and Android platforms. So these both are like mobile based applications. No need for you to learn. So this is totally a separate course again. APM and Salendroid. This both comes under mobile app. Okay, is it clear? Now,
Yes.
for core Java basics. Core Java basics. So what is Java? What do you understand by Java? It's nothing but it is an object-oriented programming language. Java is nothing but it is an object-oriented programming language, and it contains multiple data types like integer, float, double, character, arrays. So this all comes under core Java basics. Now we go for Java naming conventions. Java naming convention. So Java naming convention is nothing but it is a rule to follow as you decide like what to name your identifiers. What to name your identifiers, such as like class name, package name, variables, constants, methods. So this all comes under Java naming convention. So what are the names and what are the conventions that we have? Okay, what are the conventions that we have? Okay, so first one is class name. Class name. So class name is it should start with the uppercase letter. It should start with uppercase letter. Okay, and then next one is what? Interface name. Interface name means it should start with the uppercase letter. Okay, and then next one is what? Method name. Method name means it should start with the lowercase letter. Okay, and the next one is what? Variable name. Variable name means it should start with lowercase letter. Okay, and the next one is what? Package name. Package name. Package name means it should start with lowercase letter. Okay. And the next one is what? Constant's name. Constant's name means it should start with the lowercase letter. So these are the names and these are the conventions that we have. These are the names and these are the conventions. Okay, so this all you'll come to know. When we start writing the program, you'll come to know what is a class name, what is a method name. This all you'll come to know.
Archana, Constant's names also starts with lowercase letters, right?
Yeah, yes. Lowercase or uppercase, you can do anything. But
Okay.
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 Now we go for access modifiers. Access modifiers. So altogether we have like 4 different access modifiers available here. What are they? Private, public, default, and protected. Private, public, default, and protected. Now coming to private. Private means what? Private. If at all we wanted to access any stuff only in that class, then we use private access modifier. If at all we wanted to access any stuff only in that class, then we use private access modifier. Public means what? Public. Public means whenever we wanted to access some stuff throughout the project, then we use public access modifier. Then we use public access modifier. Okay, and then now we go for default. Default means whenever we wanted to access some stuff only in that package, then we consider them as default access modifier. We consider them as default access modifier. Protected means if at all we wanted to access some stuff in that package as well as child classes in other than packages, then we call them as protected access modifiers. So these are all the 4 different access modifiers that we have. Okay, these are all the 4 different access modifiers that we have. Now we go for OOPS concept. OOPS means what? Any idea? Object oriented programming language. OOPS means nothing but object oriented programming language. So any object in this world belongs to some class. Any object in this world belongs to some class, and every object will have a set of properties and it can do some actions. Every object will have a set of properties and it can do some actions. So properties are divided into 2 types. What are they? Static properties and non-static. Hello? Can you hear me now, guys? Yeah?
Yes, Archana.
Yes.
Yes.
So we were doing OOPS concept. OOPS means what? Object-oriented programming language. Second. Yeah. OOPS. OOPS means what? Object-oriented programming language. So any object in this world belongs to some class, and every object will have a set of properties and it can do some actions. It can do some actions. So properties are divided into two types. What are they? Static properties and non-static properties. Static properties and non-static properties. Now coming to static properties. Static means what? If at all, the values of the properties are common to all the objects in that class. So if you take an example of a human being, what are all the common properties that you have in a human being? Like number of hands, number of legs. So this all comes under static properties. Non-static means what? If at all, the values of the properties are changing from object to object in that class, then we call them as non-static properties. Example, like name, color, height, weight. So this all comes under non-static properties. Okay. So this all comes under static and non-static. So will you revise until here, guys, everyone? Yeah. So tomorrow we'll go ahead and start with the actions, and we will discuss about the data types and what is a strings, okay, and methods of function. So this all we are going to discuss in tomorrow's class. By end of this week, I will try to finish up the course, okay? So try to make sure like you don't miss any classes this week, guys. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So just revise until here. I'll be forwarding you the recording. Just revise it. If ever you have any questions or anything, we'll discuss in tomorrow's class.
Archana, I have a question.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Now we do this Selenium, sorry, the QTP, what we did until now.
Uh,
Do we use the, we don't use it in the Selenium, or it's different?
QTP is different and Selenium is different. QTP is open, it is a like a commercial tool. Like you should have software, like you should have the license. But Selenium,
Yes, but we don't run this Selenium. It's an yeah, you said it's an open source, right? Okay, sorry.
you can run
Okay,
it. I will show you how you need to run this all things. I'll show you.
okay, Archana.
So just revise until here, guys. Okay, revise it. If ever you have any questions or anything, we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.